We can get a 0-60 time and maybe a quarter mile if my friend's drive is long enough. I believe it is out of the Peugeot, because the claimed 0-60 on these when they were new was a shade over 11 seconds, I believe, something like 11.1. Now, it's not a heavy car. I think it's about 1275, 1280 kgs in terms of a curb weight. And when they were new, at least, I'm not sure what we've got left, but when they were new, they had 133 brake horsepower. So, to my way of thinking, that seems pretty slow for the car, and actually driving it, it's a typical 16-valve car for those of you, or us I suppose, because I am, I guess, more recently. But if you're used to a turbo car, nothing much happens in the lower rev ranges with this. Once you get up to about 5, then it all starts happening. So this car, I would say, feels pretty pokey, and I'm not sure that 11 point something is doing it justice. So I thought I'd get out with my Ulysses app, which at the moment is, well, it's on the App Store. Everything's stifled, all the trim is stifled in this car, so it makes pushing suckers to it a bit of a challenge. So that, my phone's fallen off already about 5 times. So obviously with the power of editing, I can make it all look highly professional. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. So anyway, we're nearly there now. I'm going to pull over in a second and get myself all sorted out. And then see how we get on. Now the other thing I clearly don't want to do, I've got to show some mechanical sympathy for a 21-year-old car, so I'm really not coming out hoping to break this car, although to be fair, it's quite hot today, it's running a bit lumpy. So I can't say she's running beautifully well today, like she has done on most occasions. I've got a feeling the lambda sensor or something bloody annoying needs changing on it, because a bit too much wheel spin. Come on baby, come on, show us what you can do. That's 60. Although it's a rev limit, so let's see if we can get a quarter mile. We must have done a quarter mile by now, that's 80 miles an hour. Well, we can do better than that, because I got a bit too much wheel spin. There's obviously no traction control on these cars. So that was a 10.16, and a quarter mile is 17. 6.02. So I would say we can definitely do better than this. I don't really want to do too many runs because this car is only 700 quid. Although I was spending quite a bit on it, so it owes me quite a bit more. I like it, but once you get it down below 10, and what is good is because it falls all the way up the upper reaches of the rev range, you can just about hit 60 in second. So you've got one gear change to worry about. So that's good as well. So I'll give it another whirl and see. I was on a bit of gravelly nonsense there. Maybe that's 60. 9 point something. Hurrah! Stop and have a look. I can't really see it jogging about. I'm not going to do another one. I don't think I'm getting better than that. With a decent start, tiny bit of wind spin. Can I just say I'm suffering from my arm today because there's no air conditioning in this car, and you go, well, why would you need it? It's a soft top. However, I didn't want to do the runs with the soft top down because A, I didn't know how noisy it would be when you hear everything I was saying, and B, probably wouldn't make any difference in a car like this, but you want it obviously to be as aerodynamic as possible, don't you? So I put the roof up and it's 20, well it feels warm now, it says 25 degrees in here, but I'm baking, absolutely baking. I've got no windows open, I've got the fan on, I've switched the fan off because that was too noisy. So if I'm lucky, I'll lose about a stone in sweat while I'm doing this. So let me have a look, see here. Oh, I'm going to have to open the window, folks, I'm sorry. We've got 9.36. So I'm pretty happy. So with 9.36 as an 0 to 60, I'm pretty happy with that. So that dispels the 11 point something that was claimed. I'll have to look up what the claimed quarter mile is. I have no idea. So I'll have a look at that and let you know in the captions here. But 17.0 something doesn't sound too shabby to me for a 21-year-old car. The other thing is, somebody that knows a lot more about Peugeots than me told me that Peugeots, for some bizarre reason, always did their test figures, produced their test figures 2 people up with a full tank of fuel. Or was it 2 full tanks of fuel and 1 per? I don't know. No, but it was 2. I believe it's 2 people in the car, full tank of fuel, and then they did the test. And apparently Citroën didn't do that. They just had a skinny bloke driving on his own with probably about a thimbleful of petrol. And that's why Citroën's 0 to 60, 0 to 100 quarter mile time always seem somehow a bit better. So that's maybe why I've got 9.36. I mean, this girl's 21 years old as well, so I doubt she's got 132. So I'm actually really pleased with that. I feel like I've restored some dignity in her old age. So that's great news. So I'm going to have to get moving from here. What I'm going to do is put a camera up, hopefully, and I want to tell you a bit in a separate video about 20-year-old cars stack up against modern cars, because I've got this car, which is a 1999 car, and at the moment I've got the BMW 330i, which is a 2019 car. So I've got cars 20 years apart, and I just want to talk to you about how they differ and what my thoughts are on that. So have a look up here. I'll ping in a link to that video. I'm going to go off and film it now. I'm also going to hopefully park somewhere in the shade in a minute and show you some of the things that we've done to this car since I last spoke to you. So bear with me. So folks, just by way of a bit of an update on this car, done a few things to it since you last saw it on our video. So we've obviously put the leather interior in, you may have seen in our other video, which I will link to if not run out of cards. So I think that looks quite cool. I quite like the colour combo now. I don't know what you think. The wheels have been very controversial. I took the cyclones off, and these are TSWs. Oh, I've lost a wheel centre. These are TSWs. They're only 15 inch again, but basically the tyres that I had on there, they've got 4 different makes on there of tyre that I'd not heard of any, and they were all sort of weirdly innuendo sounding things like Curvy Rider and Rubber Johnny and that sort of thing. So there was 4 different tyres on the same car, and they were pretty poor. So I saw these 15-inch TSWs. I quite like them. I really want some 16-inch wheels on this car because they desperately need it, I think, if not 17s, but I'm not sure I'll get 17s on with the clearance I've got here. So I'm still looking for some 16s, but in the meantime, I put these TSWs on because they've got some lovely Toyo Propsies on with some good tread on. So there's some nice tyres and they really grip very, very well. So I think I paid 140 quid for the wheels and tyres. So in theory, that's £35 a tyre, and I got the wheels for nothing. So clearly I'm still on the lookout for some 16-inch, probably Peugeot or Citroen, or maybe Ford alloys with a decent tyre on that I can put on this car, and I think it will make all the difference. Ignore the rear screen, I'm not even going to talk to you about that, but needless to say, that's getting done. We're going to deal with that as soon as I can. If you've not seen in the boot of one of these, it's sort of alright. I've got a video here my wife took, so my wife used this for the first time the other day, just nip out to the shops, and she did a small weekly shop, and it's absolutely full, and she was going, I filled the car up with shopping and I've only been for a few essentials, but for me, as you can see, it's got like camera nerdy stuff in there at the moment. There's plenty of room, and it goes back actually loads of quite a long way. It's just this is where obviously the hood stows, so if you shove stuff back right in there, then it's pretty good on the whole. Like I say, interior I think is looking good. So what else have we done? Had a cam belt change, so that was £281. I was pleased to get that done. New wheels and tyres. Shame I've lost the centre cap because that was quite hard to find in that size. Damn it. Oh yeah, we changed the rear window motors because they weren't working, which I think is quite a common fault. So we managed to find some on eBay. I think that was 90 quid, and we changed those. We obviously did all the work ourselves, so that kept the costs down. What else have we done? The door tie hinge things we put back in because one was missing and one wasn't connected for some reason. We fixed the hood because that wasn't working, but don't ask us what we did because we don't know, but it's working again now. Well, I've got some new speakers to go in it, not because I want a whacking, great big sound system in it particularly, but because when we took the door cards off it, we noticed the speakers had all perished and got holes in the front, so that wasn't ideal. Apart from that, lots and lots and lots of cleaning, I would say, is mostly what we've done. What I have got, which I knew I meant to tell you, I have bought a hard top for it that's purple at the moment. I haven't been able to pick it up as yet, but the plan is I'm going to pick that up, sort of winterproof it a bit, because the hood does leak a bit, and we're going to have a go at having that wrapped. We're not going to do it, but we're going to get the hood top wrapped rather than painted, because I suspect it will be cheaper, and I am a cheapskate if nothing else. I don't know if wrappers can match the body colour of the car. I haven't explored that, but if they can't, I'll probably go for a matte black finish, because I think we'll get away with that, and maybe a gloss black, but hopefully I prefer it if they could pretty darn near match the colour. So obviously I'll keep you posted. I was very, very pleased.
because I did some more work on these door cars that were horribly grubby and they're coming out cleaner and cleaner every time I get at them. So all good stuff.